talking to some guys here. Where did they come up with this giant sets and combination of heavy duty and everything? There was a famous Japanese bodybuilder now, Hidetari Yamagishi, who came to my gym back in 2006. And to make long story short, I was offered a substantial amount of money if I put him on a stage at the Mr. Olympia in 2007 from his sponsors, right? And because we have a short time, right, and he needed a lot of improvements, it's okay, let me really analyze what is the best nutrition, supplementation, pharmacology, okay, to be honest, and then the best training program. So, okay, heavy duty, Mike Menzer, Arthur George style, or typical with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and everybody else was doing volume or something else. And then I realized, okay, if your question is, how do you maximally stimulate maximal amount of muscle fibers? Just from heavy duty, or just from this, or maybe combination? This is why I wanted to talk about it. When you do every different kind of stimulation, heavy duty, negatives, super slow, all different grips, tempo, stances, angles, and you really push to the limit, you are absolutely maximizing simulation. And this is how I came up with this. And we trained exclusively like that. And then we went to Japan for some seminars. And in a group like this, I was talking about it. Yes, this is the best system. And then somebody asked me, did you train like this all the time? And then, at that moment I realized, oh, hold on, no, I didn't. And then it was already end of my competitive career, but then I wonder why I didn't. I knew that this is, but somehow, even though we were sometimes doing giant sets closer to the contest, as soon as contest is over, you finish it, right? Because it's too painful. And this is why. Today we had one session, and we're going to have the next one. I apologize because it's a little bit hard to synchronize everything perfectly, so I'm trying to make the best out of it. The second session should be running a little bit smoother. When you do the giant sets and you are a coach or you are an athlete that is competing, really analyze what you need to accomplish the most, right? And then structure the workout. Exercise choice have to be, the exercise that you feel the muscle working, and targeting the muscle or part of the muscle that you need the most. So even girls that don't want to have big muscles, right? But certain muscles you want to have big, right? So whatever that is, if you need to improve deltoids or glutes or whatever for the competition, that you're supposed to train like bodybuilders, hypertrophy specific, right? You don't be afraid to do it heavier. So this is how you combine it. We all have favorite exercises, and you have what you really feel like working. So now if it's exercise that you feel like working, try to change the other parameters like speed, or use the isotensions or the iso holds. You squeeze 10 seconds, you do the negatives, change the type of simulation of the same exercise that you were doing. It's a little bit hard to do it, when we're like this and there's 20 people, but that's what I'm trying to accomplish. So even when today we're going to do again, guys are going to do the chest and back, you're going to reverse it, and girls are going to do the delts. In each station, try to do it differently. If we did it super slow in the first rotation, second rotation, try to do it fast or heavier. Just change something, but bottom line is try to push yourself to the limit. Okay. Any questions now?
Just one on but what do you actually use for your amino acids between the meals? What source do you use? Do you use a tablet form or okay?
Essential amino acids, yes. No, I'm going to tell you, back in the 90s already, and it was published in Flex magazine, it was called Magic Workout Drink. Back in the day I was in Birmingham, actually. I don't know, that was a great gym, but I don't remember the name. I was training with Ernie Taylor, and we were drinking some drinks, and then the guys were like, what is it, secret? I said, well, but back in the day I was using actually whey protein, okay. Needless to say, whey needs to be digested. It's not the best because when you're training, you want blood in the muscle not going down. But this is what we had, so that's what we used. Then after that, I said, okay, just find any amino acids. So there were products that you can buy, all 20 amino acids. Well, and then I've seen the studies. Amino acids compete for absorption. So when you in the training, your 1 hour crazy intensity, give body what body needs, essential only. So when I switched from any amino acids to essential, there was dramatically much better results. And as I said about an hour ago, essential amino acids, really, if you ask me if you're going to put the money into supplements, buy essential aminos. This is the most valuable thing you can have. And again, I say protein industry would probably kill me for saying it, but by far, you're getting only exclusively what you need, not anything else. For example, whey protein. Okay, girls, guys that are competing, you take 50, 60 grams of whey protein at once. Half of it is converted to glucose. Okay? I didn't believe it before either. Then I've seen the studies. It's that hyperaminoacidemia, like too quick, too much at once, right? And body start converting it. Because whey protein like this was implemented 10, 12, 15 years ago, I forgot now, and everybody was doing it. And if you're going to take protein, mix 1 scoop of whey and 1 scoop of casein or egg albumin or something. It's way better because if you take too much of whey, because it's so quick, it's going to be converted into glucose. So this is really how it goes. Okay, we're going to train again, so you need to mentally prepare for that as well, but I'm sure you guys have some questions. Don't hesitate to ask. I'm sure that I forgot to mention a few things, but we're going to have another seminar tomorrow in between workouts.
So what type of diets would you recommend? Like there's high carbs, high protein diets and low fats, and then there's high fat diets and low carbs and high protein.
Okay, like first thing that I ask you is I ask you, do you like carbs? Yeah. And he said yes. And you have fast metabolism and all that stuff. It would be ludicrous for me to, if I'm a nutritionist, to cut out the carbs and give you something. No. If you have a caloric requirement and you are eating exactly how much you need, for every part of the day, and you like carbs, I give you carbs, no problem, because you're going to use it. Then you have this, if it fits your macros, right? They'll give you anything. I'm going to tell you this, and maybe doctor is here, so maybe he can confirm. There is a term, it's called de novo lipogenesis, conversion of carbohydrates into the fats. Everybody believes, carbs convert to the fat. No carbs convert to the fat. Carbs make us fat. It's not carb that is going to make you fat. But this is what happened. Like in birds, this is very efficient, conversion of one into another. In humans, it's very inefficient. It happens very, very poorly. And if you read clinical nutrition, they say about 10% at maximum carbohydrate can be converted into the fat. Pay attention, because you're going to all say this is not true. I didn't believe it either. Then I read it, so many studies from clinical nutrition. It's not carbohydrates that convert to fat. But when you have carbohydrates and fat in a meal, right? What carbohydrates does? It releases glucose. Glucose triggers insulin. Insulin goes to the blood. Glucose can be used as energy, but traps this fat and stores the fat. So it's not, when you have two energy sources, carbohydrates and fat, right? Glucose is being used, fat is being stored, especially if you are on super caloric diet. If you take more calories than needed, right? So you have fat and carbs together, okay? This is why you get fat. Oh, I'm eating carbs, so I'm getting fat. No, not because you're eating carbs, because you had a fat with carbs. This is what. And I did this before, very popular diets we did back in the 90s. You have 5 days of very, very low carbs, right? And higher fat. and then you have 2 days of super high carbs with zero fat, or close to zero fat, right? I would give this many people that I prepare for pro shows, I would give them 5 days ketogenic diet. They would still have carbs pre and during, right? But then I would refeed them and have as much carbs as you want, but you can have fat. So when you hear